Hey everybody, back again. Yet another video of the second shooter bullshit theory. This one here is being pushed by Godfather of Chaos, Robert D'Angelo on Instagram. He is pushing the narrative because he believes somebody who claims that they were a Navy SEAL and that he would have been up there. No, he wouldn't have. He looked at images. He looked at images from Google Maps, and he looked at images such as this and said, yeah, that's where he would have been. But this image here, if you notice, the giant Jumbotron has been collapsed. It's collapsed. It's down. It has been shut down. Everything has been lowered. So yeah, it is a clean line of shot once you move the Jumbotron. Once the Jumbotron is moved, you have all the space in the world. Google Maps, yeah, right there. If that Jumbotron wasn't there, he would have had a clear shot. But then again, it doesn't work that way because in order to have a clear shot, the sniper would have to be laying on top of a rounded, glossed dome connected to this ladder and to the air vent. This is an air vent. See, here's the billboard up. People were on the top row of that, standing up, turned around, looking at that billboard. They could not see. If anybody was on the tower, they wouldn't be able to see through the billboard or the people. This is Wall Street Journal's video footage. Look, there is the vent. This is what people are saying the sniper was. They're saying that this is the sniper. It's a fucking air vent. It's bullshit. Look, here it is again. There's your fucking sniper. Oh, it's an air vent. Sniper shooting from there to this podium would have to shoot blindly through a Jumbotron. They don't have X-ray scopes. You can't see through a Jumbotron. You can't set up your sniper, line of fire and then look at a video recording or a live video feed and go, okay, he's standing here, I have to adjust here and point here, and then fire looking through a camera or whatever. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Direct fire came from this building over. It was the only line of sight of the incident. Literally, look, right here. From here to the podium, clear line of sight. Clear line of sight. From the water tower. Oh, it's blocked by stands and a fucking TV. 100% impossible. That Navy SEAL was looking at after footage after everything was tore down and lowered and removed and said, oh, yeah, that's where I would have shot from. No, you wouldn't have. Anybody who's ever trained in anything sniper related, hell, anybody who has any hunting training at all would know you don't shoot blindly through something. You're not going to hit your target. You're not going to do a damn thing. Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, even if you push this back to here, still not going to happen because the Jumbotron is still in the way. No matter where you sit, that Jumbotron takes up this entire space. The shooter would have to be hovering over the roofs over here at the same height of the water tower, or over here in the middle of the parking lot, hovering at the same height as the water tower. There is absolutely no line of sight to hit a target here from that water tower. Look at all the stuff in the way here. I mean, it doesn't get any plainer than that. It doesn't. You cannot make that shot. Also, video cameras, you're looking at a zoomed in image that was already zoomed in digitally. The pixelization that makes it look like there's shadows moving is the camera trying to adjust because the sensor is blown out. You zoom in the maximum distance of your camera. You're going from a normal lens zoom to an actual digital zoom. That means you're zoomed in as far as you can, and then your camera is digitally zooming in on a specific point. That's why when you're doing like the S22s and S24s, when you're doing the 10 times zoom and stuff, and then you zoom in even more on it, you get a little crosshair up here. See how the crosshair is? That's your digital zoom. That's what your digital zoom is doing. Here, I'll even do that. See, it's a digital zoom. It sees my hand as a specific size, and it's zooming in on that. That is your digital zoom. That's why you have the blurred, just messed up screen. Here, I'll take a screenshot here. Let's do. And then yeah, you see how it's zoomed in? That is what digital zoom does. It takes your actual photo and digitally zooms in on that. Is there shadow there? Is there shadow there? Is that shadow? No, that is pixelization because it's a digital zoom. That's what we're seeing. Pixelization from a digital zoom. It's not a shooter. It's not somebody laying on a rounded rooftop. No. In order to get on the rooftop of this tower, you have to climb up a ladder. Here. You have to climb up a ladder that is on this center feed. Then that ladder follows up underneath and comes through a little hole, a little access patch here. Then you climb up this to here, all while you're tethered at 2 points. You have to disconnect the tether, climb, connect it, disconnect the other one, climb, and connect it. That's how this stuff works. That's how this works. That's not a shooter. That wasn't a shooter's position. That shooter would have to lay right here or lay on top of a ladder because they're like, oh, he's just to this side of that. Well, yeah, then he'd be laying on top of a ladder 6 inches high. It's not happening. You're not going to be laying on top of this. You're not going to be hiding behind a 20-inch tall, 18-inch wide little air vent on top of a water tower. You're not going to do it. This is some Call of Duty bullshit. And that Marine and then the Navy SEAL he is referencing, it's bullshit. It really is bullshit. They have no clue what they're talking about. They're just spewing utter bullshit and false flags, false narratives. They're spreading misinformation. I was in the military. I did private security. I did security for a couple different private organizations and companies. You know, I've done stuff. I've worked security, surveillance. I've run surveillance systems. I've run surveillance systems that are like a lone hub and watching up to 25 separate sites, not buildings, sites, actual, sites across the country, all at one hub, and watching it and it radioing in, hey, Dallas, Texas, you have somebody at this side of your facility, go check it out, all while I'm in Central Phoenix. That's what I've done. I've done stuff. And some guy going, well, yeah, this Navy SEAL said he'd lay up there. Yeah, he would, if this was a third world nation where we had flat-topped, water towers. This is a round top. It's specifically glazed to keep birds from nesting. It's a slick ass surface. You have to have a key to not only access this ladder, but a key to access the hatch, and a key to access this ladder at the base. You have to have 3 separate keys just to get up here. You have to be harnessed in. You're inside of a round cage that's barely big enough for a human just themselves to go up. I've climbed these towers before. I've climbed them. It's hard enough doing it with a harness and a work belt with just a couple tools. You have to climb all the way up to the top of this and attach to this vent and to the ladder so that you can clean out any kind of debris that might be building up from wind and whatnot. Leaves blow to it and stick to it, and just garbage sticks to it. I've had to clean actual newspapers and magazine papers that stick to these. It is absolute bullshit that he said somebody can lay on this. That sniper doesn't know what he's talking about. There was officers stationed underneath this. None of them saw anybody. When the fireworks did pop off, they fled this area and went over there. This is a fenced-in, caged thing. This is surrounded by barbed wire. He's not getting there. These are protected because of poisoning. People could poison the water supply. They're protected. There's surveillance video. There's a little booth deal. Let's see. Now, right here. There's a little booth right here, and it is a secured water tower. There's fencing all the way around it. Yeah. Chaos, you have no argument. Oh, but a Navy SEAL said that he would have been up there. Yeah, he would have been up there if, he actually could make the shot. And, I mean, billboards in the way, people are in the way. There's no line of sight. None. Unless, if that water tower was 40 feet taller, maybe. But it wasn't. It's impossible to make that shot through that billboard. So, Chaos, shut up.